Hello everyone, welcome to another day in Shroud of the Avatar. And today we're in game with Kendra Dragon Slayer, and we're going to look at the new farming in the game since R46. So if we bring up the skill tree here, we can see we've got the agricultural section, and we've got 3 new skills that we can learn here. The first one being watering, and we'll need to get that to a level of 10 before we can then come back to the trainer and pick up sowing seeds and harvesting, which it is a bit of a pain that we've got to do it this way, but we've got to sow seeds the old way, water them, and come back and learn how to do seeds the new way, but that's the way it is. So you need to come to any crafting trainer in the game. So you just do the normal skill learning of learning the skill. And now we have that one learnt. Let's say goodbye. So now we know how this new skill of watering plants. So what we need to do now is I need to go back to my farming plots which I'm using, and what I'll do is I'll actually pause the game and see you at the farming plot. And here we are back in Crossroads in my nice 4-story row home with a greenhouse on top. Now, for farming, we're going to need your hoe, which you should already have equipped. So if you don't, you'll need to get it and make certain that you're actually equipping it. Your hoe there. You get given them when you start the game. And you'll need some seeds, and you'll need some buckets of water. And you will need a planting bed or planting pots. So that's what you will need for for planting. Now, where you do your farming can make a difference on the time it takes to do farming. So if you place your planting beds or planting plots outside, then it will take a normal amount of time, times 1. If you actually place them in a greenhouse, that can be like here on top of the 4-story row home, or it can be a normal greenhouse in the game. It then halves the growing time, and then if you do place a planting pot or a planting bed in an inside, that is not a greenhouse but inside a normal home or something, it will take twice as long to actually farm. So those are the times it will take you to do farming. So now we need to find out how to actually plant our seeds. So we need to have, for our starting lot, we need to have the ability, well, it's good to actually get your first load of water. You'll need 2 buckets of water per seed, which will allow you to plant it and then do your first watering afterwards. So because we've got 25 seeds, we're going to need 50 buckets of water, and you can use any well in the game, or like this is a carved fountain that I'm using, which is actually on the game store. Now, to actually plant a seed in the normal way, which is what we'll have to do when we first start farming, is we're just going to double click, and then we're just going to plant, and then that's going to take one of the buckets of water and one of the seeds. So I've just got to do this a few times. It would have been handy if they'd actually put the sowing seed as the first thing we needed to learn, but they chose to use watering. So you'll have to first of all plant like this. So what I'll do is I'll just show you a couple more times in this one. And because it will take a bit of a while to actually plant the whole bed, what I'm actually just going to do is pause the video and see you in a very short while. Right, here we are, all magically planted for you. So it saved us a bit of time of going one by one, which is the last time that we should need to plant like this, because the next time we'll be planting we'll be using a different skill. So now what we need to do is water our plants. Now it seems I have 25 buckets of water. Sorry, 25 plants from the 25 buckets of water, and what we need to do to actually water it in this new way is if we bring up our crafting skill tree and we go on to agriculture. We can get it there. There we go. And now what we need to do is just drag that down onto our non-combat bar. We'll also be dragging this one down, and we'll be looking at that later. And now it's quite simple. You just go to the little beds here, click on your watering icon, and you can see it turns into a little round circle, and that's how much you can water at this particular level. It will grow as you start to water. The good thing is it saves us watering singly as we would have had to done before, the same as we planted. As you can see, we've got that. So now we'll just wait for it to cycle round, and we can water again. Now the actual circle of influence is actually slowly growing by a small amount each time. So that means after a certain period of time we'll be able to water probably a whole 20 bed. So we watered 6 at that point. And wait for it to cycle again. And there we go. So we're already at level 7. We only need to get to level 10. And we've got to level 11 with that one, so we've got enough levels for the next training. And here we go for the last 4 over here. Now what we can do also is, once you've got your level up high enough, we should now hopefully be able to plant or water all 5 of these pots. Let's give it a go. So as you can see, it's going to cross the beds, if you like. There we go, we've actually covered all of those 5, even though they're in separate, actual containers. So if you had 2 beds, what you can actually do is go up the centre of the bed, and you'll be watering both beds at the same time. Now what you need to do when you're actually farming is you need to come back a few times and do watering. Now there is a website which you can get helpful information of knowing when to come back and water. So we'll just bring that up on the desktop. It's a website called sotalaw.com, and they've got a farming bit in there, and basically seeds are grouped into 3 different categories. You've got your quick growing seeds, your medium growing seeds, and your slow growing seeds. Now basically, if we take outside as the time, as the base time, a quick slow growing seed will take 24 hours. A medium growing seed will take 48 hours. And again, a slow growing seed will take 72 hours to actually grow. Now, if you actually do grow them in a greenhouse, as I said before, the times are halved. And if you're actually growing them inside, not in a greenhouse, then the times are double of the outside time. Now, generally speaking, what determines a quick, medium or slow growing seed is actually the price of it. So top here again, at the moment in the game, the quick growing seeds are from 6 to 10 gold, your medium growing seeds are 16 gold, and your slow growing seeds are 30 gold. Now, you'll need to water a total of 4 times. Now, your first water is when you actually plant the seed, and then we've just done a second watering. Then we'll need to come back and do a third watering and a fourth watering before we can actually harvest. Now, there's a handy little calculator in the next window down, so we can set this up to either quick, medium or slow, and we can choose whether it's in a greenhouse or not. Now, we've planted a medium crop and we're in a greenhouse, so now it tells us that 11:28 PM I planted this crop. First water was immediately with planting, and we've just done the second watering. Now, tomorrow morning I will need to come back from 7:28 in the morning to 3:28 in the evening, any time in that period, and do the third watering, and then again a fourth watering at 3:28 PM to 11:28 PM, when after 11:28 PM we can actually harvest, and it can be any time after. And the expected yield, if we do all of the watering correct on the cotton plant that we have just done, so let's get it highlighted a little easier, is 9 seeds per bush. Now, if you miss one of those watering cycles, you are penalised by about half. So we would get around about 4 seeds if you missed one of the water cycles. So the important thing about farming is you've got to be able to dedicate the time to actually doing it, else you get too penalised and it's not really worth it. So what I'll do is I will just pause the video, and then I will come back on the next watering. So I shall see you in a short while. And here we are again, back for it's actually going to be our final watering on this one, because I've done the third watering. So we're just going to go through and do our final watering, and then we'll be back again after this to do our harvesting and then replanting using the new skill. Right, so we need to get ready. Now, our circle's even getting bigger now, so actually, see how many we get this time. Four. So we're about there. Just if you're uncertain, cover over some of what we've done so you don't miss any. Not that it matters, because you won't lose any water by doing this, because it'll only use water if water's necessary. I'll check, we should have 5 buckets after this. Yep, that means we should have all of them. Let's have a quick check. Just have a look at the little damp patches just to see if they're all watered, and then of course we then just need to do this group here. Let's target the centre one for that one. So you can see watering is getting very simple. The whole process is speeded up. So now we've actually done all of the watering, and here we are, all of the cotton bushes are now ready for harvesting. Now what we need to do now is go and learn these two skills here from the skill trainer. So what I'm going to do is go to the skills trainer, and I'll see you there, and then we can get those purchased, and then we can come back, do the harvesting, and then do the new way of planting with the new skill. So I'll see you in a short while. And here we are, our favourite crafting trainer. I'll say this one's in the Central Britain Docks area. You can use any crafting trainer, and you just need to learn the sewing ability, the new sewing one which we'll be using later, and of course the harvesting ability as well. So now we've got the full tree as it is at the moment, all ready and learnt, and we need to go back and put that into practice. So back to the plot we go. So I'll see you in a short while yet again. And here we are, back in the farming plot. Now I've opened up the skill tree. Now we need to do our harvesting. So we're just going to drag our harvesting, like the watering one, down onto the non-combat bar, and then it's just the same as watering, except we use the harvesting. So we just start off with a small circle first of all, and it slowly increases over time. And only got one that time because I was too far away from the bed. That's okay. As we get to learn the skill a little bit more, we'll be able to take larger areas. But since we just started the skill, the area of influence is rather small. And there's another group. Just wait for the time to cycle round. So I'll make certain I get that one at the back. That one. So the circle's getting a little bit bigger now. And then we've just got the final two over here to get on this bed. And then finally the 5 separate pots over here, just again so we can see that it actually does go across beds or pots, so it's not just going to affect a singular bed. There we go, we've got all of our planting done. Let's have a look at, we've got 223 out of our 25. So we're just doing a bit of maths here, which means we've got 8.92 seeds per bed, but we also, because we've done our watering correctly, you also get the chance of a bonus seed. So now we have another cotton seed that we can replant again. Now what we need to do is we need to have a look at the new farming skill which which we've just learnt. So just going to go in here and put that in and draw out 25 seeds, and then we're going to need some water, which I've already got a nice store in here of water, and we're going to need a total of 50 buckets of water for the 25 seeds. So now we can do planting using the new skill of batch planting. Now we need to bring up the skill tree to show you something. Now you would have thought that you would just move this one down, but you can see it's not going down. That's because batch planting is done per seed. So you need to just open up your inventory and just take the seed and plump it in the little bar down here, in the non-combat bar. And now we'll be able to click on that, and we've got the area of influence again, and we can just sow our seeds. And that will sow as many seeds as the area of influence allows, and also use your first watering. So just wait for it to cycle round, choose our target area. So you can see that farming this way is a lot quicker and more efficient. And wrong one, I want the seed. Oh, harvesting won't matter because there's nothing there to harvest. It doesn't matter if you do catch the wrong one. If I can get this whole bed in, we're either going to miss one or we're going to get the whole bed in. But again, it doesn't really matter because it'll only use the seeds that it's going to use to plant, so you're not going to waste any by trying. And we did get them all. And finally again the little 5 pots that I've got over here, just to show you it does cross the beds again. And there we go, and we'll just quickly go and water these. So it should be a lot quicker now because we've already skilled up on a lot of these, so our area of influence is going to be much larger. We'll try about there, we're about a bit more. See how far our area of influence has got. Set more on the watering one. So you can see we've stretched all the way down there. So it'll probably take 3 waters or 3 attempts at this. I don't think we'll have that one done. No, I did miss that one, but it's not a problem as well. Now you'll still do your watering this way, so you can learn the skill, but you're only going to use the 1 bucket of water that's necessary. And you're still learning, and whenever you're doing any of the skills, they pretty much are all training each other. So these skills will go up very quickly, at least at the moment. And so there we have it, we've done all of the farming, we've done the planting the old-fashioned way, and then we went and done our watering, remembering to do your watering and using the social law calculator to help you time when you need to come back and do your watering to get the best out of your crop. We then harvested and then we replanted using the new skill set since R46. So I hope this video has been helpful and informative. Now if you are new to my videos, if you click on the subscribe button you will get to know when more of my content comes out. Also feel free to leave any comments in the comments section, and thank you for watching.